hello, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. Those who will be watching and those who are watching currently. This is Brother Benson, and today we have a discussion here. We have a new kid on the block, Mr. Makubura. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, good evening. I'm doing
Did I lose you, Mr. Makubura?
I think you lost Makobura.
How are you doing, Mr. Miguda?
I'm doing very fine, bro. Managing very well.
Yeah,
How about you?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, and maybe if you have any story on your side that you can share with our viewers and us that you feel we do not have access to.
I think there are many stories, but I just want to share one. I
Yes.
saw the Homa Bay governor together with the PS for internal security,
Mm-hmm.
Raymond Omolo, inspecting the Homa Bay Raila Odinga Stadium after
Yes.
we have had a clash when Were died, a clash between the supporters of Wanga and Raymond Omolo. But today they were joined together when they were inspecting the stadium, and they
Yeah.
were also anticipating the canopies to arrive so that by the time they will be celebrating Amaraka Day, they
Mm-hmm.
could have covered it all. So you have seen they were united despite their fans having differences to understand that even the PS never attended the funeral for Omondo Vere. So that is something that have reached my attention.
Oh, you know the reason why that one happened is that, like I told you, politics is all about perception and is targeted at particular moment. And that particular moment, it was about the emotions of the people, where you know the emotions of the people. And today, like because we've buried about the former I mean the late MP. Now we are not speaking about him, or we are not thinking about it. Now the politics come as usual, and that is something that is very normal. Is something that we usually, if some, yeah, if you're a politician, or if you've been in the political field, especially that those are bound to happen. And another thing also I saw, which was touching, especially, and it has reminded us how Kenyans are very resilient and hardworking. There was this grandmother with two of the grandkids that he took them to school after being sent home for fee, and he had to have around like six chicken. One of them laid the eggs there on the spot when they were going, and it tells you how hardworking, especially our mothers are. And by just taking those chicken to pay school fee, one of it tells you that that is the only treasure, the source of wealth that I think she could reach. Yeah, so that the kids should go to school, and it should be a lesson to leaders, especially from Moma Bay and any other leader, that they should look into the education and make it affordable for Kenyans. Not everybody is the same, my friend. So that one was that the mother or the grandparents were just showing you how hard it is, especially to get school fee. So that is something that I felt it is okay for me to share. And it tells you that despite the fact that tuko kwa serikali, ama watu wa Nyanza wako kwa serikali, kuna baadhi ya vitu ambazo kama mtu ako kwa serikali iwezi tatua. Kuwa kwa mbadi ama kupia wandai, hizo kuna vitu zingine hazitatuliwi kwa hayo. So that is something that I've also realized. Hello, Miguda.
Okay, if you can hear me, I can just say that there is that perception. You have talked about politics being perception, and it's really it has been mastered by the leaders of the region that by the time they are narrating to the people that they are in government, irrespective of the people, the constituents who are not in government. So by the time they are telling you that we are in government, let
Yeah.
us support our government. You
Mm-hmm.
Lords, you should know how to be in government. But we have
Mm-hmm.
been asking them how, who are these in government? One person has been appointed now. It is now being given to be a community burden. I think that is what they're trying to tell the people. The fact that because they were telling us that because we have lost the presidency, the
Mm.
highest seat we can get is the CS for treasury, that is the
Yeah.
finance.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we have that finance docket, we are in government.
Mm-hmm.
But that is how I can just rely on your point that it's a matter of perception, whereby you have to make people you play with the people mind. What Wanga said today that the president came last year and promised to conclude the work at Raila Odinga Stadium and also conclude the work at Kabunde Airstrip. But
Mm-hmm.
today we are going to conclude that work. So it was like she was like saying the president has kept his promise. So that perception that now
Mm-hmm.
president is not a liar, but
Mm-hmm.
to a certain audience. But in the real
Mm-hmm.
sense, there are things that he has said he has
Yeah.
never fulfilled. So the fact that he fulfilled two things doesn't qualify him to be truthful man. I think that is just a matter of perception to the audience you are addressing.
And I agree with you, because even at her speech also she said that if you doubt that the president is not working, then come to Homa Bay and you can witness some of the developments that is happening in Homa Bay. So that is our politics. We will visit Homa Bay and we will confirm to you that. Thank you so much, Mr. Migood. I don't know what happened to Makobura. I'm still waiting for him, or there's a problem with his internet or light. You never know. This is usually like um, internet and things to do with the technology. So we'll be waiting for him to show up. So and also let me take this opportunity to thank everyone who is watching us from anywhere. I've not seen any comment, but I know from the look of things on the dashboard, I see we have few people who are watching it, and I hope they will join soon. So, Miguda, thank you so much once again. Today we had a good day, I would say so, because a new political kid is in the block. Deputy President, former Deputy President, today launched his political party at Lavington in Nairobi. But during the launch, it was hit by chaos. We saw chaos at the launch. We don't know who sent those people. I don't know whether it's competitor or it was a stage manager, but all in all, there were chaos. And the report that I have, and this is confirmed, like some of the videos and the photos that were taken by journalists, um, some of their cameras were confiscated, and those videos were deleted by the security allied to the deputy president. That is confirmed. I've just spoken with one reliable source, a journalist, and so my question is, why would you delete those? And that's what Kenyans want to see.
First, I also I wanted to confirm to you that I'm likely going to join that Madaraka celebration at Raila
Mhm.
Odinga Stadium on
Yeah.
Sunday. I think
Yes.
I'll be present. I'll be present the whole day, and I'll bring to our viewers the updates afterwards. What
Yeah.
has been there behind the scenes. The reason why I believe that there is something in my own opinion, I still believe that there can be stage management because
Yeah.
we have had similar incidents whenever Wamunyoro is having some meetings with the people, even
Yeah.
whenever Wamunyoro is attending funerals. Why is it
Mhm.
that why Wamunyoro? Why always Wamunyoro? That whenever
Mhm.
he's having his staffs, there must be guns, there must be bullets
Yeah.
on hair. So why is it that whenever Wamunyoro is having a peaceful meeting
Yeah.
or attending a funeral or church service, there must
Mhm.
be commotion. So
Mhm.
we must find out what is wrong whenever he's holding any meeting, there must be commotion. Does it mean that they are being stage managed to seek sympathy card, or
Mhm.
they are coming from the state who are fighting Wamunyoro? We must
Mhm.
ask ourselves question because if he's coming from the state fighting Wamunyoro not to hold any meeting in town, it means
Yeah.
that it is not safe for him. But if at
Mhm.
all is stage managed to seek political sympathy, then it is also good because people have used similar incidents and they have make it to state house.
Yeah.
So it can be politics, or
Mhm.
it can be something that has just been coming from a certain quarter that we want to frustrate you because
Mhm.
you are out of this government. You must feel that we are the boys running this government. I think that one can be taken into consideration. But even from my own look, I saw people on uniform securities, and I
Mhm.
believe those securities on uniform were allies of Rigathi Gachagua. How can
Mhm.
they fight against each other? That one can, because if it was something that was sponsored from the state, we ought
Mhm.
to have seen people from the police sectors with uniforms, with tear
Mhm.
gas. We never saw such things. But some people are just throwing stone at each other.
Yeah.
And I don't think there is any MP who is fighting Rigathi Gachagua within the Nairobi county
Mhm. Mhm.
who could have sponsored those goons. Or they want to make it like it appear maybe boys from Kibera are fighting from Europe. So two things must stand out.
Mhm.
Who is frustrating Rigathi Gachagua, or Rigathi Gachagua is seeking sympathy card from the people.
Okay, thank you so much, and I thank you so much because you've also given us a brief on how Rigathi Gachagua, especially some of his gathering, has always been or he has always encountered violence, especially if you look at when he went to Limuru for the very first time, like Kipia. The other day he was in church, or and so violence has always, all the goons, I would say so, or political violence has always followed him. So it is either two things in politics. Anything is possible because politics, the greatest thing in politics, or the greatest issue, before you talk about your policies, one of them, you have to find a way of gaining sympathy. It How can you sympathy and create perception out of it? So the chaos that erupted, maybe we are not very sure, but hopefully we know the relevant authorities, because the police are the only body that are allowed to carry out investigation and maybe shed light to the people. So that is something we might be waiting from them to give us the full update. But in politics, everything is possible, or anything is possible, and such like negatives usually get very good tractions, and people will ask, why is it happening to Amunyoro? Because we've always seen it each and every time when he has like gathering. Makobura, what do you say about that?
Okay, thank you. What I can say about Wamunyoro and the party, first,
Yeah.
I would say it's a good move for him
Hmm.
politically, being that he's a
Yeah.
politician and he has political ambitions. It is a good thing that he's come up with a political party that, he can have a say, a political party that can help him, to navigate the Republic of Kenya, and also to spearhead his beliefs together with the beliefs of his supporters. So it is
Yeah.
a good move again, being that, Kenya is a multi-party, country, and
Yeah.
it is a good thing when you see people coming, people differ politically, and then they come up with the political parties that they think
Hmm.
can, help them in spreading the agendas. But the only thing that I disagree when it comes to the making of these political parties is
Yeah.
when political parties are made for personal benefits,
Yeah.
whereby people making them then tend to forget the main reason why political parties needs to be formed. We've seen instances where people from one community come up with a political party, and then they try say that this is our party, and you find that from the party leader to secretary general to all the members of party leader are from one community. And
Yeah.
then you ask yourself, the basis of forming political parties are usually to unite the people of Kenya. When it
Mhm.
is formed from one section, I mean one part of the country, the question will then come:
Mm.
what are the intentions of forming this political party? Is it to unite the whole republic and to acknowledge the fact that Kenya is a multicultural society, or
Mhm.
is it just a party that is going to unite one tribe? So those are some of the questions that we are asking. But to me, I can say it's a congratulation to him and to his buddies or political friends
Yeah.
coming up with a political party.
Okay.
What now we are waiting to see as citizens is How are they going to move throughout the country to ensure that they spread and they tell the people of Kenya the reason why they came up with that political party and the agenda that they have? My thinking would be the agenda that they should be having according to the symbol and the, I mean, all those things that they're speaking about their party is,
Mm,
I saw them put something like this and then they say they're listening to the ground or Kenya.
mm,
It is a good slogan because that clarifies the democracy that we have in the Republic of Kenya. You have to listen to the people for you to get to understand the needs of the people. But the question we are asking again is, does it mean that the current political leaders and the political parties have not been listening to the people? Of course, they have been listening to the people, and have they been incorporating all the views of the people? That is something that we've not seen. So maybe we wait and see if the DCP is going to be listening and also implementing the views of the people. Uh, to say something about the leadership structure,
mhm. We are going
I
to come
think
to that. We are going to come to that.
okay, then I'll
Okay.
hold my thoughts for now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Makobura, for that. And before we go into the leadership structure, maybe Mr. Miguda, when you look at the political parties that we have, the characteristics of the political party that we have, do you see something new that has come with the DCP party that you can point out to Kenyans and say that, okay, this party is quite much different or is bringing something new into the political arena of Kenya, Mr. Miguda?
Of course, there might be some structured by the party organ,
Yes.
whereby they have tried so hard to emulate other political parties so that it can look like a Kenyan thing,
Mhm,
not a region thing.
mhm.
But normally, even after you have done all your best, there
Yeah.
must be some critic from certain quarters, like
Mhm,
what they say that DCP stand
mhm,
for, District Community Party. Those are
mhm,
normal things. What I
mhm,
saw from the DCP is that they have tried to expand the party official, that, unlike what is we saw during Ford Kenya, the party of Etangula, the party of Mudavadi. It has gone beyond Mount Kenya because there were some interim officials like the deputy party leader, Cleo Malala, is coming from Kakamega, that's Western Province. Then people like Seki, whom I said yesterday, coming from Kajiado. There's a certain lady who is more of an interim, I think chairperson or vice chairperson from Kisumu County,
yeah.
Aluo for that factor. So Wamunyora has tried to spread that party structure beyond Mount Kenya, unlike the party of Moses Kuria, unlike the party of JB Muturi, unlike the party of Martha Karua,
Yeah.
and other small parties. So that is something we have said that at least, even though he has been labeled as someone who is a tribal chief,
Mhm,
but he has tried to show that actually he can work with other Kenyans beyond Mount Kenya. And there's something that you have asked me about what new outfit it has come up with other than
mhm.
what we have seen before.
Yes.
There's no, it's just a forest, but now monkeys have gone to a new forest. But the people like Malala was former SG of UDA. Even those faces, people like Seki were in UDA. So they have just changed the environment, but they're the same people and the different outfit. So the only new thing in DCP is just the color and the branding. But even if you look at the ideologies of the party, they're
Mhm.
just similar. And it has also been formed to capture power in 2027.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Maguda, for that. And I want to invite Makobura, and we are talking about the political parties, and this will bring us to what we call the regionalism and consolidation of the bloc. And if you look at the new party that we have and compare it to other political party, I would say that they're almost the same, because what comes to our mind when we see the political party, we see the name of Rigathi Gachagua, the personification of it all. When you talk about that party, you equate it to an individual, which is quite much the same with other political party, not to mention the Wiper, the ODM, the Amani, the Ford Kenya, whereby there's that personality behind it. Um, do you think they could have changed that such that it become a national party, because it originates from Mount Kenya? That is the first step. Then the second, it will be now being spread to the whole country. Makobura.
Okay, but one of the reasons why personally I've never really understood how these political parties are formed
Yeah.
is, for example, you see him coming up with the idea of forming a political party, and then
Mm,
he becomes the party leader. That's
mm,
a clear indication that the party belongs to him,
mhm.
and he has all the decisions to
Yeah.
make in matters of running the party and the interest of the entire party. So
Yeah.
the problem we've been seeing in the Republic of Kenya is that people come up with political parties, they try to tell the people about it, but the real sense is that they control the political parties, and
Mm,
that their main personal interest are what overrides
mm, mm.
the interest of the party and also the interest of people who are joining these parties.
Yeah.
So my wish would be, if we could be able to see a change where I come up with an idea, and
Mhm.
then it is not just me coming up with the idea. It is not just. It wasn't just an idea of Wamunyoro coming up with the political party.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
were so many people in the Mount Kenya region, for example, who are not happy with the government of William Samoei Ruto. So I would say that those who are like-minded people. One or two of the reasons it could be that they did not have the finance, and what was needed for them to go through, uh, the laid down structure of forming a political party. And
Mhm.
again, that might have not, I mean, that might be the reason why some people also who had the same vision were not
Yeah.
able to come up with a political party, because forming a political party needs a lot of money, and that's a fact. So
Mhm.
what we've been seeing, if I give you an example of UDA, the president solely make decisions, critical decisions, which are then used in running the party. And that
Mhm.
is part of the reason why Rigathi was removed in the
Mhm.
UDA party. Because the president, being that the UDA, he's the one who has a bigger share, not
Yes.
even the citizens who are part of that political party. It is
Mm,
him who
mm,
has a bigger share. And for that reason, he felt threatened by Rigathi Gachagua, and that's the reason why he called his team and he told
mm.
them that we are removing him. And they
Yeah.
did not actually go to the people to consult the people and tell the people that
Mm.
we in the UDA, because political parties, most people who actually are part of these parties, apart from the leaders, are the citizens. So they
Yes.
have to, most of them they have to have the supporters. Did they even consult the supporters while they were removing? So
Mm,
what I'm trying to say is that political parties are not really serving their role as per what the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya says,
mm.
but they are managed by individuals, and the individuals has the final decisions on
Yeah.
how these parties operate.
Okay.
And it is not going to be different with the Wamunyoro party, the
Mhm.
DCP party,
Mm.
because he's the biggest shareholder. As much as there were a good number of people thinking same, and they
Mm.
needed a political party, it is him who was, given a higher shares, and for that reason, is going to have more say in decisions which are going to influence the running of that political party. Maybe one thing that I can add on this
Mhm.
is, I wish that this political party would come out to operate differently from the political parties that we have in the Republic of Kenya, because he's saying at least him is gone through this, and part of the reasons that he listed was that he went to war without having he went to the election without having their own party that they would call home. so that when things were were not working well, he would
Yeah.
come back.
Mhm.
I
But
wish that.
but Marco Bura, that is not true because when you look at the political parties, especially you're coming from central Kenya, there are quite a number of political parties in Kenya. There was Kabogo had his own political party. We have the Jubilee, which was the ruling party then during that election. We had the DP. So uh, he did not have. He I would say that there was option, but they decided not to take the option. They decided to go with with the UDA, because if you remember during the campaigns, it was being said that this party belongs to you.
I agree with you, but again,
Yeah,
remember the parties that you've mentioned. They did not actually sponsor. They did not sponsor leaders to the National Assembly or to the to these political seats.
mm,
And for that reason, as much as, of course, the political parties exist in that area, they did
yeah,
nothing,
mm,
including the party of Martha Karua, who was the running mate of Raila Amolo Odinga. And part of the reasons why, it was difficult for Raila to accept, that he was defeated by William Samoei Ruto, is
mhm,
that when they were doing the analysis, they thought that NAC would bring a good number of supporters from the Mount Kenya region, but that did
mm.
not happen. So for
Okay.
that reason, it is right to say that, of course, the political parties exist
Mhm.
in papers, but on ground they were not really there. And that is why
Okay.
I've also used that word that in his comments regarding
Mhm,
Gachagua, he used to say that they did not have a party of their own that would then
mhm.
back them up.
Okay.
But we are hoping to see something different. But I don't think there is going to be anything different because the monkeys are same. Only the forest. I mean, the forest is same. The monkeys are also same. There's nothing different because when you speak about the party leader, he has been in Jubilee, left Jubilee when they had problems, went to UDA. When we talk about the deputy party leader, was in ANC, left ANC when he was convinced and told that he was going to be given post without even giving clarification why he was leaving ANC. He went to UDA. In UDA, akazungushwa, and you see,
Okay.
so there's nothing new that we are going to see in this arrangement.
Yeah.
But let's just give them time and see what they can bring on table.
Okay, thank you so much. We just have to wish him the best because he's trying to bring new alternative options. Because I think right now Kenyans are looking for options, and if he plays his cards well and have strategy and clear message, so Kenyans might board in his political party. Here we are just giving our views on the launching of the party of Wamunyoro, or the party of Deputy President, former Deputy President. Rigathi Gachagua, where during the launch, at the time of launching, actually it was hit by chaos. The goons that came and disrupted it for a while. Then things went well after that. Mr. Miguda, I want you to also share with me your thought, especially, everybody knew that when Rigathi will be launching his political party, it will be at Wamunyoro, because Wamunyoro has been a center of small power. Everybody would go there, meet Rigathi Gachagua. Anybody who have a proposal would go to Nyeri at Wamunyoro. But what happened is that, like, he came and launched the party in Nairobi. What could have motivated that, or what could have been the reason behind it?
It is politically correct for him to launch that party in Nairobi
Yeah.
because Nairobi is the capital city of the country, and Nairobi diversity. There are many Kenyans in Nairobi. We do not have only the Kikuyus living in Nairobi. So he was trying to bring the national outlook of the party, that this party does not belong to the Wamnyoro or the central people. It's
Mhm.
a national outlook for the Kenyan people. That is was very significant politically.
Yeah.
That's why he had to launch it in Nairobi. And also the party headquarters in Lavington. Remember, even Jubilee had their headquarters in Lavington. We have had even the Orange, the former Orange House, that was which that that property which belongs to Karole Mondi was
Mhm.
at Lavington. So you
Mhm.
understand the history of Lavington with the headquarter of political parties. It's
Mhm.
very significant to have a party headquarter at Lavington. And what I wanted to say is that people do, let us not underrate Wamunyoro, because all these political party, when they are being started, they are like a small entity, but they, with time, they grow.
Mhm.
Even when UDA was being formed, even URP, it was just like maybe 4 men. When URP was being formed, we saw people like Duale and Ruto at the
Mhm.
forefront. But little did we know that URP swept the entire Rift Valley. And that's what it can be a surprise to the people that maybe you can see maybe but I can give him credit where due, because Rigathi Gachagua was impeached partyless. He
Mhm.
was impeached without any political party,
But yes.
without any follower. But today he promised people that there's going to be any political party. Actually, we have DCP, which is registered in the Political Parties Act, and we have
Mhm.
DCP with the party officials, even though they are interim. But we have also DCP with governors. We saw governors present. We saw senators
No,
present. We
we do not have
saw
governors, my friend, because those are
so,
they're elected on a different political party.
I'm saying, okay, we saw some leaders from Mount Kenya present in that launch of
Mm.
that political party. There were some leaders who are elected who are
Yes.
present in that launch. So it means that right now, at least Rigathi Gachagua, he has made a step after impeachment. At least he's a party leader of political
Yes.
party. At least it's being followed by elected leaders. And these elected leaders are also having some people who voted for them, who believe in them. So this person, instead of him dying politically, but is
Yeah.
trying to come up. That's why we can say that he has made a step in politics since he was impeached.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda, for that. He has made a step, and we have to give a credit where it is due, because after going through impeachment, it's quite much stressful, for go through impeachment and all that, and you still have the courage to come and form your political party. It speaks a lot, and as you said earlier, that people should not underrate Wamunyoro. It is true, because like for you even to form a political party and have like followers who are buying into your ideology, that alone uh, is worth uh, being congratulated, because like so many of the politicians who have gone through political challenges but have never rising up to occasion even to come with a political party. Few are them, and and you look at the political play in Kenya, where the people who have political parties will always intimidation of the political parties, because you find that as much as you might be the member of that political party, you do not have that democratic space to criticize. You will always go with what the party says. You do not have any divergence view. But now here he is coming and will be doing the same things that the owners of the party has always done to those who do not have a political party. That is him. Now, when you look at the function itself, it never lasted actually. Rigathi spoke for almost for not more than an hour, and what he did, he introduced the party members, and we did not see the loyal opposition whom they've been having conversation with. Why was this one so? Why was this one so? Do you know the reason why, or maybe if you can just share with us?
I think it was part of the strategy,
Mm-hmm.
political strategy, and we discussed it around noon with some of my friends. And we said that why is it that there was not even presence of Fred Matiang'i in
Yes.
that launch?
Mm-hmm.
And we have come to conclude by saying, yeah, Matiang'i, Rigathi Gachagua is also some, other than him as Rigathi Gachagua, he's
Yes.
also a political strategist.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he was inviting Matiang'i to Mount
Mm-hmm.
Kenya,
Yeah.
he wanted Matiang'i to come and join DCP.
Yeah.
They wanted Matiang'i to come to DCP, to
Mhm.
that coalition without any political party.
Mhm.
But Matiang'i also has gone deep and make a consultation. And he has been also advised that do not go to Wamunyoro partyless, the way
Mhm.
Wamunyoro went to route of partyless. If you
Mhm.
must go to negotiate on behalf of the Kisii region,
Mhm.
you must have your political party from
Yeah.
Gusii region, so that
Mm.
if anything happen, you
Yeah.
can have something to lean on. That is why Matiang'i and Rigathi Gachagua, all of them were political strategists.
Yeah.
That is why you saw them missing in action. And because Rigathi Gachagua is someone who is forging ahead and someone who is also, he knows what he wants, he understands power.
Mm.
He could not wait for people to come. He wanted to make it very clear that from today henceforth, he's
Yeah.
a party leader of
Mhm.
DCP. And anybody who is interested in Mount Kenya votes should look for him, and now they can chart way forward. He's not going to look for anybody. Anybody who's interested in Mount Kenya votes, now
Mhm.
he has that voice from Mount Kenya. I think that was part of the strategies that he has to omit other opposition leaders so that he can he can be the Mount Kenya face whenever
Okay.
people are coming to negotiate.
Okay. Thank you so much, and Makubura, thank you for coming
Maybe
back. And okay, go ahead.
maybe allow me to say something on the question that you've asked me, Goda.
Yes.
Uh, this was not an official launch of the party. If you
Mm.
followed that,
Mm.
it was said that there's going to be an official launch in June. In June,
Mm.
that was the message that was there. So I think that maybe in June we would see
Yeah.
the opposition leaders that they've been working together with. That is the
Mhm.
likes of Kalonzo, the likes of Matiang'i, and many other. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, and that is what really happened, and that's why there was no more like there were no many speech
Yeah.
in that particular launching. It was just him coming out to some symbolically, do what he was needed to do, and then
Mhm.
after that, he said that he would be finding time to move throughout the country to give. To tell the people of Kenya why he was coming up with that party.
Yeah.
But according to the statement that was issued, it would be officially. Um, it's the official launch would be in June.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you so much. I think also something that might also worked out is that maybe he has always been promising to launch this party, but he keeps on postponing. But now, due to the fact that that one could have made people to view him as somebody who is not trusted, not keeping his promise, and yet things were not already in place, so he decided to come out and maybe to just let people know that it is here. We've started a journey, but the new journey or the real launch is going to be in June. So that one also might also have played
I,
part. Now, okay,
I
go
think
ahead.
maybe a minute. I think the reason why he hurriedly wanted to do the launch is
Yeah.
because remember Rigathi Gachagua and his team has been going throughout. Every weekend, every week they've been going somewhere,
Yeah.
and the issue of political party has been raised.
Mhm.
He's been promising his supporters
Yep.
about him launching the political party. So I think
Mm.
he wanted to symbolically, of course, do the launching so
Yep.
that as he plans, because of course he has said several times that he's planning to move not just within the Mount Kenya region but to other parts of the country. He
Mm.
wanted to have the political party
Mm.
so that as he moves before the official launch, the party would be known by the people of Kenya. He somehow wanted to do some marketing for the party, and
Okay.
that might, I think, explain the reason why the close allies that he has always worked with were not present in that particular launching. And again, that also clarifies the reason why the speech was more of it actually was him speaking and introducing the leaders that he's planning to work with. And again, if you're also keen, almost all of them were working. Were in those positions as interim.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
I think that's my take.
Okay, thank you so much. And if you're very keen on some of the what the party, I mean the vision and what party stands for. And there's one thing like Maliza Ufisadi, that was one pillar of the party. There is Maliza Uongo, liberation of economy. We have trusted leadership. We have listening to Kenyans, uniting Kenya, the party for all Kenyans. If you uh, hear all this that the party leadership is talking about, or what the party stands for, do you see the party actualizing, especially like Maliza Ufisadi in our country, whereby corruption uh, is part of us, part of us, and the leadership that we have. We have the Wongo, let's say, like a situation whereby uh, the words that or the promises that are being given by leaders are not being fulfilled. Liberation of economy, trusted leadership, listening to Kenyans, uniting Kenyans, and the party of all Kenyans. Do you see that one being actualized in the long run?
Okay, first, I think the most important thing is who are the leaders of this political party. If you are keen on the members who are called upon by the party leader, some of them, of course, have had corruption allegations,
Mm,
and the Africans have a say that tell me who your friends are, and I'll be able to tell you who you are. So I don't
yep.
really think there's going to be something new in terms of ways of tackling corruption and being genuine in the sense that
Mm,
having leaders who are up to the task, leaders who are fully protecting the rights and the
mhm,
views and the interests of the entire republic. I
mhm.
don't think it is going to work out over there. It's just like these other ones.
Okay, thank you.
But we can try be live in a positive way and maybe give them a benefit of doubt.
Okay, Miguda, what is the thought if you hear the messages like Maliza Ufisadi, Maliza Uongo, liberation of economy, trusted leadership, listening to Kenyans, uniting Kenyans, and the party of Kenyans? What come to your mind? Do you see the DCP party actualizing this for Kenya?
Actually, I do not see any effort by the DCP party to actualize for the Kenyans whatever they have laid down into their
Mm,
party promises, because all these things you have talked about, we have had them from time immemorial, but they haven't been actualized. Each and every time, whenever we have a new political party, we usually come up with new promises, like what UDA used to tell us about we will have call freely without our airtime being charged. We never realized such things, such promises.
yep.
I think they're just sweet in writings, they're sweet in papers. The way we begin our conversation by you, if that came in that perception of the people. It's about to how do you how do people perceive you as a leader? You can just
Mm,
look for nice words to make people believe you that actually that the person is going to turn around the economy of this country. But that thing is far fetched because the
yeah.
people who are in that party, they are not
Mm,
new faces. They have not come from heaven. They are the
mm,
people who are in UDA. They are the
mm,
people who are in Jubilee. They are the people who are in KANU.
yeah.
It's just now they have just changed their outfits, but the
Yeah.
same people. If they did not do those things they have brought there in KANU, in Jubilee, in UDA, I assure
Mm,
you now they are going to actualize them in the DCP. It is just
okay.
something that is to make the audience to view them as people who are an alternative to the current regime.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Migul. And something also we have to look at, because this party of former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua is originating, or its native is Mount Kenya. Remember, also we have Jubilee here, and one of the key things for a political party to be strong, you have to have members of parliament, and that one will also assist you, especially with bargaining at the national table. And now we have the new party, and we have the Jubilee, and all will be trying to make sure that they have representative. Do you see this one will be working for, or will be working against President William Ruto?
It can work for or against. It will
Yeah.
depend on the ground. We have
Mm,
had similar party. We have had different party in one region, like what happened previously. We had UDA and KANU in Rift Valley, but UDA swept all seats. In fact, even the party leader or the party chairperson of the KANU,
mm,
Gideon Moi, lost his senatorial seat. That one, sometimes there is always new wave. A new wave tend to resonate with the people of that time at that particular time. You
mm,
can even have 10 political parties, but there's
mm,
only one which is
mm,
preferable by the resident of that region. I
mm.
can tell you that we have had Jubilee who have worked in 2017, 2022 under administration of Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yeah.
People have people lost with Jubilee during the wave of UDA in Mount
Mm,
Kenya. If
mm,
UDA chase them out of parliament. People like Ngunjiri Wambugu, people like Kanini Kega, people like Sabina Chege, they were chased out of that region with UDA. And people like even Jeremiah Keon was chased out by UDA. But now we have Jubilee who are not elected. And by that time, we had members of parliament elected under Jubilee, and they were chased out by the yellow fever. What
mhm,
if the current DCP is going to contest with people like Gunjiri Wambugu or Kanini Kega or Sabina or Jeremiah Kioni, who are not currently holding position in that region? I think it is a contest between UDA and
mm.
DCP, not a contest between DCP and Jubilee. Therefore, it can work against William Ruto, not for William Ruto.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Makubura. What do you think when these two political parties will be competing against one another? Because if you go to the social media, especially you go to X, there are those who still believe that Uhuru Kenyatta is the kingpin, and we are not coming out of Jubilee anytime soon. And now Rigathi Gachagua has brought in a new kid in the block. With the wave and the support that Kusikiza ground Rigathi Gachagua has, how will this one play with President William Ruto, bearing in mind that they will be competing for elective seats within that region, if in any case they don't work together?
In politics, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And I've always said that the tactics that Rigathi Gachagua would use to get to the people would really matter a lot. If they actually Rigathi together with his political party, they have that chance of finishing Jubilee in the Mount Kenya region.
Mm,
The only thing that matters is the tactic that they're going to use. And again, there are those people who really believe in Jubilee Party. There are those people who believe in Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Some of them are because they are personal friends, and in one way or another, Uhuru helped them in one way or another, or Jubilee helped them in one way or another, and for that reason, they cannot get out of Jubilee.
yeah.
But again, remember, it is the people, the majority. The majority will always have their way. When the majority of people in Mount Kenya are convinced that Rigathi Gachagua, together with this party, can fight for their rights and their interest as a group, as a people, then it is possible for them to manage. And it's the same Rigathi who was actually advising Matiangi that he should come with another party, should not rely on one. Um, he should not rely on Jubilee Party if he wants to go for presidency. And I
Okay.
remember Rigathi telling him that you should come with a party that is grounded, that is more of it is grounded on, I mean, a party that is coming from the Gusi land.
Mm-hmm.
That was the advice that came from Rigathi to Matiang'i.
Okay.
Partly me disagree with that because going to a political, I mean, going for these top seats with a party that is known in other regions is more advantageous
Mm-hmm.
and easy to sell than using a party that is, that is accepted in only a section of the country.
Yeah.
And if they decide to work together, I know the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua, they're not. Then politically, they had their differences, and we haven't seen them coming together to
Mm-hmm.
speak a language that uh, a uniting language. So what I can say is that
What,
Rigathi
what
Gachagua
what uniting language? Oh, by the way.
uniting in this sense.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we've seen Rigathi Gachagua moving with Matiang'i, and Matiang'i is being sponsored by Jubilee Party. I
Yeah.
think that is that is a fact. But we've
Mm.
not seen the honor of Jubilee. Just like we said, these political parties have their honors. We've not seen the honor of Jubilee. That is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta having a discussion or even taking photos that would, give this impression that they are speaking in one language. Politically,
Okay, Makobura.
polit-
Makobura, let me ask you because and let me take this opportunity to thank the following: Gibson Connor, thank you so much, and we have Joseph Okello also. Thank you so much for joining, and welcome to Brother Benson Media. You're talking of you've not seen the honor of Jubilee having a conversation with Gachagua, but we have Jeremiah Kioni because Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta now take a backseat because he's the former president. He cannot actively uh, participate in the Kenyan politics, but he can make comments. So by even Jeremiah Kioni proposing Matiang'i to run for presidency or as a presidential candidate for UDA, and Matiang'i talking to Gachagua, that can make you have that outfit of or that thinking that okay, these people might be speaking together through their proxies.
Brother Ben, you've just said that Uhuru Kenyatta is partly seen as a kingpin of the Mount Kenya region.
True.
And that in politics, that says a lot.
Mm.
And him just taking a photo with Rigathi Gachagua or having a conversation or a meeting, there's so many people in the entire country who are asking so many questions with
Yeah.
this movement of Rigathi Gachagua.
Mm.
What has Uhuru said about it? There are those people who are waiting for him to speak. Then after that, maybe they can accept his political moves.
Yeah.
But until he comes out and says that, I know, I'm aware of this, union between the Jubilee and the Kashagwa, politically, that let me give you an example.
Mm.
When Muturi resigned,
Mm.
when Muturi resigned, I mean, when he was removed,
Mm-hmm.
there was this group of people saying that he might go back to Jubilee and side with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Mm-hmm.
And there were these people who were saying that he might also go to Rigathi Gachagua.
Yep.
When he came out and he was seen having meetings with Rigathi Gachagua,
Yes.
those questions were answered automatically. And
Mm-hmm.
people understood his stand and his view and, the plans that he has. We have to accept the fact that Uru still plays a big role in the politics of Mount Kenya region. And
True.
whichever signal that he would give to the people, that
Yeah.
would then help the people make political decisions easily.
Okay.
And we have to accept that fact that
Mm-hmm.
as things are going currently,
Mm-hmm.
Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the former president of the Republic of Kenya, has not given a signal
Yeah.
that is in unison and is fully agreeing with the political moves of Rigathi Gachagua. Maybe
Okay.
to give you another example, if
Mm-hmm.
you remember, there's a time that the Jubilee Party had the Jubilee Party secretary,
Mm-hmm.
Honorable Kioni, when he said something about Raila Amolo Odinga,
Mm-hmm.
that the president was not I can't remember the exact thing, but
It
let
was
me try.
about the expert
Yeah,
issue.
the issue of experts that Uhuru, the party leader of Jubilee, is not in support of that. But then
Yeah.
after some time, few days, we saw them in photos, in meeting, and it was clarified that you know what, it is he was aware, and with this blessing, such kind of thing was happening. So
Okay. Okay,
in
good.
similar, the politics of Mount Kenya region still are dependent on the moves of the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. In whichever sides that he will give, I mean, whichever signal that he will give
Mm.
would really have a lot to speak on the political environment.
Okay, thank you. The reason why sometimes I might kind of disagree with you a little bit on Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, I know for a fact that he has very big influence, especially in directional or giving direction on the politics of Mount Kenya. And another thing that you also have to understand about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is a former head of state. And as a former head of state, especially when it comes to the politics, you need to tread very carefully because you know very well that our constitution usually says that if you retire, you need not to involve yourself in politics, not as other quarters where democracy, like when you talk about America, where the former president can campaign for their candidate for that particular party or can attend the conventions, but he's the head of state. So that one alone, I feel like he cannot come out boldly and say that okay, I'm supporting this, but through the proxy, and that one could work. And you've talked of Jeremiah Kioni, and I mentioned to you also that Jeremiah Kioni proposed Matiang'i to be as the flag bearer. So that one would tell you that Uhuru Kenyatta might be speaking through proxy. And let me read to what Joseph Okello is saying. Um, hmm. Joseph Okello say that a tribal outfit view from my balcony, and just maybe to just ask Okello too, because also we want to know his view. When you look at the outfit of today, as you look it from your balcony and see that it's a tribal outfit, which it originates from Mount Kenya, and it has that regionalism, which our politics always has, the three axes of our politics, which is regionalism, personification, and and commercialization. When you look it as you are in your balcony and you look at it, what make it so much different with other political parties that we have, that when we mention somebody's a political party, we see we equate it to somebody's what the person, there's a personality behind it that is also, you can share with that. He had joined Uhuru for Mount Kenya consolidation, then that would worry the Asla. Yes, yes. Okay. That would worry the hustler. That's polit. I don't know how it will worry the hustler. I think
I
when you
think
look at it,
that is what I was explaining because
yeah,
Joseph is saying that had he joined Uhuru for Mount Kenya
yeah,
consolidation,
mhm,
then that would come with some weight to the current president, and there's a
mm,
possibility that all the Mount Kenya region would then side with them and give him the full support. But as
okay,
things currently stand, Uhuru has
mhm.
not given any signal, and there's that group of people who are, they are waiting for the signal from the former president for them to make their final decision.
Okay, thank you so much. And Okello too is saying, Mr. Okello too is saying, the political chess master is watching keenly. That is, I hope you're speaking about His Excellency President William Ruto is watching keenly. Miguda, also, I want you also to weigh your thought on what we were talking about, and Makubura also has talked about maybe if Uhuru Kenyatta could have like a photo or a communication with Rigathi Gachagua, who solidifies the Mount Kenya and say, okay, we are speaking as a community or as a one region. But this is what is not seen. We've never seen them Uhuru Kenyatta one-on-one with Rigathi Gachagua in any gathering. What do you take of that?
Me, I'm having a different opinion
Yes, sir.
because even people have said that it was good for Uhuru Kenyatta join Rigathi Gachagua, or it was good for Gachagua to invite Uhuru, or it was good for Gachagua to embrace Jubilee. I think if we are doing such things, then we are not growing politically. We
Yeah.
need to grow. Uhuru is not permanent. Uhuru is not eternal. That it
Mhm.
must be Uhuru. Uhuru was beaten by William Ruto in that Mount Kenya you are claiming
Yeah.
is commanding.
Yeah.
So there is no, you allow others also to thrive. They can
Mhm.
have their space. You don't need to put Uhuru into the picture each and every time that it must be Uhuru for him to get popularity, or it must be Uhuru for him to be marketable. No, people can emerge. You don't need to hang on some people. Maybe even Uhuru is insisting on Matiang'i.
Mm.
They want Matiang'i to be the party leader. How is
Yes.
Uhuru now going to play, even though Uhuru has some of the followers in Mount Kenya? But
Mhm.
now the party is going to be handed over to Matiang'i. Then how do you want him now to come and embrace Gachagua political party?
Mhm.
Is he commanding now? Because the Jubilee is going to Matiang'i. So those things
Mhm.
matter because so me, I'm just having a different view from the public and from the
Yeah.
people that at
Mhm.
times just allow an individual also to thrive politically and also to
Yeah.
grow. It doesn't need Ouru's effort for Gachagua to make some moves. And it doesn't mean that once Gachagua has made a political decision, now Gachagua is excluded. Gachagua can still work with Ruto. This politics, you can find them working together. And that okay, because you have also the structure and
Miguda,
you have
Miguda,
a political party
can you
before.
check your
Now
screen,
let us.
please? Miguda, you
Am I
have
clear
crowd.
now or am I still breaking?
You are
I'm still
breaking, and
breaking.
yeah, you're still breaking. As you
Okay.
as you work
Okay.
on your audio, let me read what our friend Gibson Connor has said here. All the parties formed and coalition have given Ruto a free second term, with most of them will be rejoining Ruto government. Guys, be ready for the same shock as Raila Ruto brotherhood. I tend to concur with you, because when each and every political party, especially because what happens with this coalition is that everybody will be coming with one vision, is that the slots, and this one will be considered based on your region, how much you've consolidated, especially when Wamunyoro comes with this party, because his main work now is how to consolidate Mount Kenya and make sure that everybody that is going to vie in Mount Kenya, especially, will vie through his party. And remember, I think I also read somewhere, I'm not very sure, that there is immediately after this, they're going to be a roadshow, or there's going to be meetings, especially on only Muranga they will not be meeting, and they will not, I think it's only Muranga, if I'm not wrong. But other counties, he will be visiting those counties to popularize the party, and and have roadshows. So that is a way of consolidating. Then after consolidation and knowing that I have this particular number, or I have this, or other people uh, are behind me. Now, when we come at the national level, where we are going to have a coalition, what am I going to get? And that's where hell will break loose if they are not very careful. Then another thing also that might also play a part is what unites them. Yeah, what brings them together? Is it only to make sure that President William Ruto leaves office? If that is the main agenda, yeah, of it is one term. And then after that, when President Ruto leaves, what next? Do as there Are they going to have strategies of how, saying, okay, now if we win election, this is how we are going to work? Or immediately after election is maybe good luck, they win, and the disagreement is going to arise? Because if you look at even the history of our politics, that's what has always happened, that when coalitions are formed, they are formed with very good intention, even maybe to take somebody out of power. Then immediately after taking the person out of power, the disagreement starts immediately. Yeah. It starts immediately, but it's become a cold war, a cold room war. By the time after 1 year or 1 year or 2 years and a half, now it becomes into the public. That's now we are seeing it. So once you start to see it in the public, it means it is not start the other day. It starts the very moment the administration came into power. So that is one of the things that this coalition will have to deal with. If they don't deal with, as my brother, as my sister, or our viewers is saying, then that is the second term for the president.
If
Miguda,
you
you're
can
back.
hear me, I can conclude what I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I think I'm now clear.
yes.
I was just trying to, in fact, we had almost a similar thought with Jeff Secona on
Hmm.
my final submission
Yeah.
before. I was saying, why is it that we want to underrate Rigathi Gachagua at each and every step he's making? Let us not underrate him because why is it that Gachagua must be supported by Uhuru for him to be popular? And we have people like Alonso with their political parties as the party leader, Raila party leader, Ruto party leader. Why is that when it comes to Gachagua now, he must look for somebody to support him to be a party leader of DCP? Let him be a party leader of DCP by his own rights, not that he must be supported. This issue of underrating other politicians is not
I
good.
think Miguda
And
is
I
speaking
was
about a different thing.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
no,
the
I
no,
question,
agree with you.
Miguda,
no.
the question was,
I'm not speaking for a different thing. I'm just trying to bring my point home.
Okay, go ahead.
And I was saying also that finally you are making me to lose my thoughts. Finally, I was saying the reason the reason why I cannot outrule any formation right now is because we are dealing with politics. This is politics. It is likely anybody can work with anyone. Not that the fact that Rigathi Gachagua has now consolidated the DCP. Now he can never work with Ruto.
Yeah.
They can still work together. That's why you don't need to put it at like Rigathi Gachagua is now someone who is excluded when it comes to the political parties formation, that people are free to make their political parties and have the authority for their followers. But when it comes to Rigathi Gachagua, now it's being excluded that no, you must look for Uhuru. No, you can't make it by yourself. No, this is a Mount Kenya thing. No, it's just like any other person who has
Mhm.
the similar political parties from same region with
Yeah.
his own rights. And he himself can as well work with Raila. He can work with Kalonzo. He can work with Ruto because this is the politics of the Kenyan. So there is no way you can just make an out rule that Rigathi Gachagua will go by himself with the DCP and
Mm.
Rigathi Gachagua is going to make it to one term. He can even give it a second term.
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
okay, I understand Miguda's comments, and I'm not
Mhm.
disagreeing in either. But I think, he had a problem with these networks. I think when he came back,
Mm.
maybe it could be didn't get the question. The question that you had asked was about the two parties in the Mount Kenya region. That was Jubilee and DCP, and how they are going to work.
Yeah.
And I think that is the explanation that I was giving. And I think Miguda came in,
Mhm.
and it could be had me saying that a sit down between Gashagwa and Uhuru would give a clear signal to their supporters,
Yeah.
and that would maybe shape the politics of that region when it comes to how the two parties would be, you know, I mean, maneuvering within the Mount Kenya region.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. There's also something that we did not see during the party or unveiling of the party. I don't think this one was a launch. We did not see the manifesto of the party. Um, what do you think about that?
I can let me start then Makubra will respond later. the reason why we never saw manifesto of the party, and
Mm.
this one I've just tried to do a certain research,
Mm.
and Kasong was made me to do that research because I was going through the manifesto of the UDA.
Yes.
You know, whatever Kasongo promised from the manifesto, actually, he is doing them, but they are full of corruption because he promised affordable houses. But
Yeah.
affordable houses is more of a corrupt deal. He
Mhm.
promised people things like universal health coverage, even though we understand that UHC is enshrined in the constitution. That is not anyone's. Provided you're a president, you
Yep.
must ensure that there is UHC for your citizens. But they are introduced this issue of SHA, Che,
Mm.
She, Sho, Shu, and we
Mhm.
understand all the deals. I don't want to go into details.
Yeah.
And also, anything he promised, whenever he's trying to make it to reality, service delivery, there
Mhm.
must be corruption in it. So the reason why you can't see manifesto right now,
Yep.
manifesto always, the president usually projects the deals he want to do. Look at what happened, the beef agenda. Whenever you unveil your manifesto, you must project what you intend to do. That is why I think it was too early for them to unveil their manifesto because it is not even they haven't even been cleared by whether they are going to produce a presidential candidate or not. They are not even negotiate who is
Mhm.
going to be the flag bearer or not. So I think it is a question whereby after you are done with all those formations, then when you're coming to your final day, you
Yeah.
can come with your manifesto projecting what you intend to do by the time you're president. But the person who drafted for Kasongo manifesto, that
Mhm.
person must be a very intelligent person because their projection was actually they are doing it, but they have hide corruption
Mm.
on that manifesto.
Okay. Thank you so much. Miguda, Makobura, what do you say about the manifesto? We did not see any of the manifestos.
We didn't see the manifesto because, according to his statement or their statement, they're planning to move throughout the country to fully kusikiza Wakenya according to their slogan, and maybe by the time they will be doing a launch in June,
Yep.
maybe we'll be able to see. But partly what they talked about is part of the things that they are focused on. Of
Mm.
course, they talked about fighting corruption. Wataki wadanganyifu. They don't want liars in their party. And if, for example, I had Cleophas Malala, the party deputy party leader, saying that ukipatikana unadanganya, that would be a ticket of you being thrown out of the party. But
But naye akipatikana kidanganya atafanywaje? Atafanywa vipi?
unatolewa kwa party according to his statements. So I maybe we wait and see. But so far there's no any agenda. Of course, part of the agenda of what I also had was taking the William Samoei Ruto home in 2027, and they termed it as a one term.
Okay.
So partly those are the agendas that are on the table so far.
Yep.
Let's wait and see for their final agenda in June when they will be uh, launching the party officially.
Okay, thank you. I totally agree with what Joseph Okello is saying. Because all the politicians, even Rigathi Gachagua himself, one thing that we have to give it to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua have studied the art of politics of Kenya. He has it, and he knows. He has calculated, and he know what he wants. And anything that Rigathi Gachagua is doing, he doesn't do it for free. And the reason why I usually say that Rigathi Gachagua has studied the art of politics, and he studies the behavior. There's that behavioral nature of politics and the behaviors of the voters. What do the voters want? And what do the voter want to listen to? He knows it, and is very good. One of the things that you cannot take away from him, especially when it comes to delivering of message, he's very good in delivering of the message. Look from the time his impeachment started. And one of the things that he made people believe, and until today, that he took the entire impeachment process from him to the entire community. And the whole country played to it. And because he knew one thing, that the way the process was being carried out was going to be questionable, and he capitalized on that. Whereby, even if you call him Mr. Tribal, but people would still ask you about the process, even the public participation. That is one. Secondly, remember when he was just about to visit he was supposed to go to parliament and with his lawyers, you know, to defend himself, or if he has something to say about the accusation and allegation that was leveled against him. Before that, he had a brief um, press, and he talked of so many for almost an hour. So when now you come to parliament, and what happens in the parliament, you see how he was going to be. He was preparing you to see how he was going to be treated badly. Then you sympathize with him, even going to the Senate and all that, the entire process. Then he won, and now the court ruling has come out, especially due to the bench that was constitutional. It tells you he was on the right, even though maybe he was on the wrong, but he was now on the right. So many people agree with it. So by him coming up with a political party within this short period of time after his impeachment, he has studied the art of politics, and he want one for you to have a upper hand in the national politics. One, you need to have a political party. And this political party has to have legislators. One, the money that you get from exchequer is good money. That is something that he has learned. Secondly, he has also learned through the impeachment process that you need to have a voice. He struggled so hard to gain the support of Mount Kenya leaders, especially the MPs of Mount Kenya. No one should go through that. He has known that. And that's why sometimes sometimes when I look at Mudavadi, is folding his political party and joining the president. And if you look at the history of our political parties again, a political party that who has come into power after 10 years, they lose their influence. They no longer very influential. Look at what happened to the party of President Kibaki. That was it was what? The party that Munya nowadays is holding. PNU.
It's called PNU, yeah.
Does PNU have influence? Actually, PNU sometimes is only Munya who has it. He has very few registered members. Look at Jubilee. Jubilee, immediately after the 10 years, it's not very strong because we have infights within the Jubilee. Now we have actually, even if you look at even UDA is not even strong. And the worst for the UDA is that within a period of 2 years or less than 5 years, other parties might have taken 10 years for them to fade away. But UDA is taking it very less than 3 years. You could see that it does not command the following it used to, especially during the election. And what that one informs you? That one informs you that the political party that is going to come in is not going to be a UDA. It might have a new outfit and change of name, but the leaders will be the same. And by coming with a new outfit, it's to offload that baggage of bad name, of not performing or of not being liked as a party. So you come up with a new outfit, and this new outfit, you will be told, this is the party that is going to deliver you. This is the party that is going to give you everything that you want. So that is art that Rigathi Gachagua has really learned. That's my take. Mr.
Okay,
Mutut, go ahead.
just what kindly,
Oh,
because
oh.
this is the first time I'm seeing them on our channel.
Mm.
I just wanted to say that when during the, I agree with your last point, Brother Benson. I just want to your last point by saying that when Raila had disagreement with Moi and Raila walked out of the government with
Yeah.
his team to rebrand himself.
Mm. Can you check your audio, please? Makubura, can you come in as we check the audio of
Yeah, I was actually looking at. I'm looking at a list here of fully registered political parties in Kenya. Currently, there are 91
Mhm.
fully registered political parties in Kenya,
Mm.
and I also saw a list here of around around 8
Yeah.
are in process of. They have not fully finished the registration process, and I'm just asking myself that 91 registered political parties in the Republic of Kenya. I think that's a big number of parties that we have in the Republic of Kenya. And it's
Mhm.
so unfortunate that out of all those 91 fully registered political parties in the Republic of Kenya,
Yeah.
we've not had we've not had leaders coming from these parties. We've not seen political parties among the 91 coming out to fight to represent the needs and the interest of the people of Kenya. And I think uh, partly the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya has really given us a lot of leeway in terms of democracy, and also it has helped us in terms of giving our views.
Mm. Yeah.
And it is also a good thing that people have embraced the multi-partyism.
Yes.
And the question that we should ask ourselves is, all these political parties that we have in the Republic of Kenya, 91 of them fully registered and can sponsor presidential candidates from presidential to MCAs. What is it that we lack as a people, that out of the 91
Yeah.
registered, that we've never seen a
Mm.
political party that would come and stand in for the people, solve the problems of the people, fight for the views of the people. And issue to do with money is one thing that has corroded, one thing that has finished the views of people with leadership skills or leadership gifts. The problem we have is that more of the most vibrant political parties, they are owned by tycoons, and these are people who have gotten their money in a way that is not legit. And so they are using the money that they've received to try convince the people of Kenya and to buy the people of Kenya, so that they might get that big support. And it is unfortunate that partly the citizens have also not woken up
Yeah.
They are not seeing that they are being bought by this political class. They are not seeing that the political parties that they are fully supporting
Mm-hmm.
are individual owned political parties. These are parties that the citizens of the Republic of Kenya do not have any say when it
Yeah.
comes to decisions which are then used to transform or to influence the running of the Republic of Kenya. And so
Okay.
it is a call to the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. Out of 91 fully registered political parties that
Mm-hmm.
we currently have in the Republic of Kenya, I
Mm-hmm.
was just checking at the portal uh, of the Registrar of Political Parties.
Mm-hmm.
It is upon the people of Kenya to have a look into this
Okay.
and, just analyze and look at what is best for us as a people, what is best for us as a citizen. Let us go for something that is going to, save us from the problems that we are currently going through as a people.
Okay, thank you. And Miguda, I want you to weigh your thoughts on that. And this one comes from Moses Kure. I quote, and I say, I actively participated in the fight for multipartyism. I believe in plurality in politics. As such, I fully welcome the launch of District Commissioner Party. That is the party for Munyoro. And this one comes because you mentioned this. Let me take this opportunity also to thank Laban Misiani for joining us. Laban, I hope you're doing well, and we can see your comment. And this is, we are happy, Gachagua, welcome to the world of hooliganism. Then another thing is that that the route to opposition. What is 91 parties? This doesn't sort our Kenyans' problem, but sounds like a business. Those parties are deal makers. Those are for making deals. They're not for anything to do with the Kenyans. For your information, my let me just tell you, because what usually happens, they usually wait for those who are went through the nomination and they're not being given certificate, maybe because they're not very loyal to those other parties. So you fall on them. Once you fall on them, luckily enough, if you win uh, elective seats and they get quite a number, first of all, they will get opportunity to nominate somebody into the parliament. And when somebody wants to nominate you, they cannot nominate you for free. Yeah. Secondly, there's a money that's going to come from exchequer. They're not interested in running for presidency. They're not. Yeah. So even if they and that's why sometimes you feel like when there's a coalition that is taking, they rush into that what they want to fill their candidates. Just make sure that they sign those uh, as we are supporting one presidential candidate. But since we are allowed to fill in our own candidates in those particular areas, so that is what usually like their businesses. And thank you for recognizing that. Yeah. So, Miguda, what do you say about what the advisor to the president, economic advisor to the president, has said about
Econ-
calling the party district commissioner party?
He's calling them. He's calling it district commissioner party, but
Yeah.
we saw some people calling it district district community party. So
Mm,
there are many names. Though that is normal. Even
mm,
people will. There are many things that are going to be unfold. That's political. But I just want to say one thing. Moses Kuria also had a party by name Chama cha Kazi. But
mm,
now the current party, DCP, is popular more than the Chama cha Kazi. So hard feelings must come also into play. Moses Kuria is having hard feelings for his fellow person because Rigathi Gachagua is commanding more people than him. And also, Rigathi Gachagua is going to chase those Chama cha Kazi people in Mount Kenya. That's
mm.
why Moses Kuria has to talk like that. And also
Okay.
understand the capacity of Moses Kuria. I just want to say that when it comes to the issue of multi-party democracy, we are
Mm,
fully supporting what Gachagua said. We are
mm,
fully supporting what he did. We are fully supporting his right to form political party because that is what is in our constitution that Kenya, we are a multi-party democracy and we are diverse. Therefore, we should incorporate more Kenyans other than the people from Mount Kenya into that
mm,
political party. And let us not castigate Rigathi Gachagua for having a political party because all these political parties are tribal-based political parties. Not that this one for Ramunyoro is what we want to call a tribal-based political party. No,
mm,
we understand ODM is predominantly Luo's party. UDA is
mm,
predominantly Kalenjin party. Wiper is predominantly Kamba party. So Rigathi Gachagua, just like another Kenyan, he has a right to form his
mm,
political party, and we are a multi-party democracy. We don't want
mm.
a single party state.
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura. And I think we need to wind up. If you have anything new that you would share with our viewers, we will be very glad. And before we make our closing remarks,
Me, I'm just surprised, just like Gypsy Kora is surprised. I'm still going through the list of fully registered political parties in Kenya,
mm-hmm,
and I'm actually asking myself so many questions
mm,
that we even have Economic Freedom Party in Kenya, EFP, and so many others. And I don't know. I don't know why. It could be that there's a good number of people who have always had the desire to lead, and in one way or another, they decided to come up with a political party. I think me and my team are also included in this. And along the way, one thing that we have to accept is that it's not easy forming a political party. It is not easy going for for an election. It is not easy presenting yourself or a group of people to sponsoring them to these elections. So what we need to do as a people is we have to accept that we are not at a good point because the country is not doing well. There are so many problems that the people of Kenya are going through, and political parties, they can help us restore the Republic of Kenya, restoring in the sense that bringing the leaders through these political parties. We can get leaders who can then make decisions which would then influence the running of the Republic of Kenya. So my request, my voice to those people who came up with these political parties, let them stand up and also walk out. Come out and speak, because Kenyan leadership is not. It's not for few families in the Republic of Kenya, or it's not for a few section. It is for everyone. Let them come out, whether they have finance or not. If they have an agenda that would then restore the dignity of the Republic of Kenya, they will get the chance. It's not easy, but we've seen people, members of parliament, some of them who were elected, while when they were doing campaigns, they had nothing, but at long last, they won the elections. And there are so many examples that we can give. So the 91 political parties which are fully registered, let the owners, or those who had came up with ideas of forming them, come out and also, get to the ring and give the people of Kenya reasons why they think they need to be given a chance to to vie for these political parties. Our good friend Gypsy Kona is saying, did you know that Esther Warenga Kihoha is also vying for presidency? Yeah, we know, and Esther Warenga is someone that we've also hosted here. We've had a one-on-one with her, and she gave us, when you watch that interview, uh, a roadmap of the plans and the agenda that he has for the Republic of Kenya. So it's a good move for her, and we pray for her, and we wish her all the best. Miguru, I'll give you a chance to give your last remarks.
Just want to say one thing. First, I would like to say that it is good for the country to grow when we are having many parties, because that is what is enshrined in the constitution. We are a country where we have a history whereby at a time we had a single party state. Kenya was one point a single party state, whereby it was only KANU who ruled this country. and anybody who had any divergent opinion of forming any party other than KANU was being detained in whatever circumstance. Now we should celebrate the multi-party democracy and allow Kenyans to carry out their democratic exercise without any fear, and we should not even send goons to interfere with their democratic exercise. Makobura and our viewers, see you next time. Bye bye, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Gypsy Corner, yes, you should go through our clips. It is there. You will see we had a conversation with her and she gave us uh, his agenda for the country. You can watch that as well. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're watching us for the first time, kindly like and subscribe to the channel, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us and we'll really, really appreciate. Allow me, allow me now to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us today. Gypsy Corner, thank you so much. Laban Misiani, thank you so much for engaging us. Joseph Okelo, asante sana for finding time to be with us this evening. Um, Judith Caretha, Brenda Obedi, and everyone who in one way or another participated in this conversation. We really thank you and we hope that you'll join us again tomorrow. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you are watching us from. Thank you so much and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.